Hi, I'm Mia, and this is about to turn into a full face of gifted makeup. It's funny, I was talking with my friend last week before, and they were like, you know, have you thought about doing a YouTube video of a full face of products you were gifted, whether it's PR, along that line? And I was like, oh no, that's a really good idea. And I don't have any video ideas today, so that's what we're doing. Obviously, precursor, all of this is gifted, and I am so eternally grateful for these types of opportunities. Some of these have been gifted from the brand directly, some of these have been from influencer, from skeepers. I'm just covering that now, and let's get into it. So ironically enough, the products I have the most is eyeshadows, because I was on the Kaja PR list for a while, so I got a bunch of their Bento trios. And I really wanted to do something colorful, but this is my only colorful palette, and it's not. It basically just showed up as gray, and that's not kind of the vibe. That's not the vibe, you know? It's not the vibe. So, gonna be boring, gonna do a neutral, but I don't really have any other options here. So, and then I'm gonna use some products from Decay for shimmers. So I think I'm gonna primarily go in with Neutral Moment. It's one of their only all matte ones, so hopefully this is okay. So on a large fluffy brush, I am taking the middle shade, and I'm just gonna throw this all along. Yeah, that was the wet eyeshadow brush I just cleaned off. Okay, this is the dry one I set aside specifically for this. Gonna do that again. So, just gonna take the middle shade and throw it all along here. Try to blend that out so it doesn't look so patchy because it was applied damp. But just came home from being out with my mother for Mother's Day. Wild concept. We went to a little arts market. It's this place called SOA Open Market in like southish Boston, I guess. But we almost always go for Mother's Day. It's what she likes. There's some food trucks, there's some like farmers, there's some arts, and she liked it. We didn't do a whole lot today. She doesn't like doing a bunch of things, so kind of simple. I got her a chiffon cake with cream cheese frosting and berries because it's like one of her favorite things ever. So I think that was a pretty good gift on my end. And then I am taking the darker matte on just a little brush, being lighter with this because I don't want it to be like a smoky look. And I'm just gonna start to pat and flick this out just so I have some definition. I'm gonna carefully. Again, if you're up to me, this would not be the color scheme I'd be going with, but I don't have a lot of super colorful eyeshadow palettes, and the only other Kaja ones I had are either cool tones, or I had one coral, but I know their formulas and that would look more peach, and I wasn't really kind of going for peach. Mostly because I didn't have any corresponding blushes or lippies that would have gone with it. So alas. So this is new both to me and in general. This is the Naked Eyeshadow Stick from Decay. I have mine in the shade Toasty. I did swatch this a few weeks ago. And it seems like it should go with this color scheme I have going on, so hopefully. I don't know why I thought this was going to be like slanted, like shape-wise. And I'm just gonna put a little like right here and pat to blend it in with the slightly darker shadow. I don't want it here because I am going to go in with the Space Cowboy. And repeat. Again, this is just so there aren't any like really harsh edges. And then this is the Moondust Space Rider palette. It was limited edition, but I don't know where my single Space Cowboy is, so I'm gonna use Star Cowgirl because it's lighter, and I like a lighter inner corner then transitions to like a deeper one. So we're actually gonna go with Space Cowgirl. Star Cowgirl. I'm a liar. I'm just going to take this on a brush because I'm tired of getting my fingers dirty with eyeshadow. But it's just like a nice champagne ivory color. And I'm also going to do a little eyeliner just because this is a little boring. This is from Milk. This is the Infinity Longwear Eyeliner in the shade Outer Space. It's just black. It's funny, I never would expect, because I don't usually like eyeliner, so I don't know why I even submitted for this on Skeepers, but literally it turned into one of my favorite eyeliners ever. So, guess it worked out. But I'm just going to do a little, I'm not going to do too much eyeliner wise, on the outer corners at least. I might try to do like a rounded inner corner thing. We'll see what happens. I use a tiny round brush to blend out on the outer. And then I'm gonna very lightly, like, it's not the most interesting, but it's just a little more. Ooh, and I have a nail appointment tomorrow. Thank God. These are ready to come off. I don't know what I'm doing, which might be an issue considering, you know, my appointment is tomorrow at like 10:45. So yeah. Usually it would have been a Sunday. Technically it would have been today, but I figured it might be a good idea to be a good child and, you know, spend Mother's Day with my mother. So, it's okay. It's relatively early, so I have time to come home and do things if I want to. Things being makeup, but still. I'm kind of thinking towards like a kind of desaturated blue, because there was a girl next to me last time and it was like the prettiest shade of blue. It's really funny because she was debating on that color for like 10 minutes. Then she's like, I'm gonna do it, and she was like, oh my god, does this look good? And you know, I was like, oh my god, it looks really good on you, yada yada. So she got the color, stared at her fingers, went, paid. 20 minutes later she was back in the seat next to me to get them redone because she didn't like the color. She got a very milky white instead. So, but I really did like the colors, so I might do French tips with that color. Not this base color. This base color is also stained with hair dye, so. But this is gonna be it for the eyes. Boring, simple, I know. But I'm gonna find some lashes and I'll be back in a second, I guess. Alright, I'm back with some lashes on, and the hardest part is actually going to be my base because, ironically enough, I just threw out most of my real foundations that I got gifted. So yeah. So I'm going to go in with the Paula's Choice Pro Collagen Peptide Plumping Moisturizer. I really like this actually. To the point that I might take a little into like a travel container and bring this with me to New York because I don't want to carry this whole thing around with me. But I am loving this moisturizer lately, especially as the weather gets warmer, because I don't need as thick of a moisturizer as my, what's it called, Fresh Air Beauty one. I need more like a gel consistency, and this is gel but on like the thicker side, and it's perfect. Now, I have not used this yet, so we'll see what happens. This is from Belif? B-E-L-I-F. Believe in Truth. I don't know. These are the Super Drops Niacinamide Golden Glow Serum, so I'm hoping this plus the Paula's Choice can mimic my Glow Recipe Danessa Marix combo I usually use, because these are supposed to be illuminated. Obviously not as dark, but I really don't want to look like the Tin Man after this. I really don't want to look like the Tin. Oh, this is surprisingly thick. Okay, like I look a little shiny, but it's not as metallic as I thought it was gonna be. So yay. This is not, my skin looks hydrated, but that's because of the shine from the thing. It doesn't feel as hydrated as it could. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Piedmont First Spray Serum, also gifted to me, obviously, which is why I'm using it. And just to kind of help seal and boost my base product. Hi, I'm sorry if the camera angle looks a little different. My battery just died, so I had to switch it out for a new one. Also, I was looking in the mirror, and my skin is really glittery. So, not ideal, but nevertheless. So, I'm actually going to go in with some of the Erborian CC Red Corrector Cream, because I only really have a skin tints for my current gifted foundations. So, I want to kind of cover up some of the redness that I have going on, because there's a lot of it. So, literally just gonna rub this in and keep it focused like right here, where most of my redness is. Again, not using a ton, just enough to kind of help. Then this is from Hourglass. This is the Hydrating Skin Tint, Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. I don't know, it's in the shade 3. It's a little dark, but I don't really have many options here. And I'm making sure not to use as much as I did last time, because A, I just kind of helped myself. B, this has more coverage than I think it does, but it doesn't have enough to cover all the redness that I had going on. Oh, so do you want to know something really funny? When I tell you, you're going to be like, oh my god, that's not funny. Wait. So I tripped going up my front steps the other day and busted my knee open. I have a, like, from the top of my knee to, like, it's like this much space. That's broken. Not broken. Like, torn and scraped and bruised. Bruised is an understatement. You might be going, oh my god, that's not funny. You fell. You hurt yourself. What the? Ooh. I just noticed how much hair dye is in my ear. But, no. The funny thing is that I only have, like, 2.5 concrete front steps before getting to my porch. So, I tripped over the half one and busted my knee. So, I just, like, it's not funny, like, hee, it's just, I've been going up those steps my entire life. Literally my entire life. And I fell and busted it the other night. Okay, but my skin kind of eats. Like, it's very obviously not as much coverage as I usually have, but, like, it's kind of cute. So next I'm going to go in with the Main Match Concealer from Kulfi. This is the shade Fudge Natch. This was actually an approved TikTok sample, so, but I'm not complaining. I had my eye on this forever anyways. Like, I'm going to submit, what's the worst that could happen? Realistically, they could say no. But they did it. This is also like one of the perfect matches when I'm not wearing makeup. So, yay me. I really have nothing to say today. It's like so weird. And like, it's not that I'm tired. I had 2 monsters. I downed one before I left the house. And then we stopped at a gas station on our way back from festivities, so got another one there. I was gonna get a Simply Lemonade, but they only had Tropicana lemonade, and I don't like Tropicana lemonade. It's too, like, tart. I like a good sweet lemonade. So, alas. I hate this sponge, but I kind of need to bounce this out. Ironically, this was gifted to me too. It's the Real Techniques brush. It's the one that has like the weird fingerprint. I don't like this side, but the other side is fine. Now, for bronzer, I can either go in with the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Contour in the shade Gentle, or I could go in with one of the mini Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shape and Stick, but this is in the shade Light Medium, and it's definitely not my shade. But I haven't used this in a very long time. I originally bought one ages ago, and then it broke. Surprise, surprise. So I decluttered it, and then ironically enough, these showed it up. I actually think I'm gonna go in with the Rare Beauty, because I have 2 blushes from Makeup by Mario, so I might use these instead. That way I don't have too many of one brand going on. So I'm gonna do a little here. Ow, that feels like I'm getting a pimple coming in. Not so great. Also, my period is supposed to start today, and I'm really hoping it doesn't. Because if it does, that means I'm gonna get my period at the start of my New York trip. Because why wouldn't I? But my schedule's a little messed up anyway, so this is like the one time I'm hoping for a seriously delayed period. Like, not even seriously delayed, like a week. A week will be fine. I'll even settle for it being late by like 3 or 4 days. That way it can start on my way home from my trip. So, fingers crossed. I'm just going to blend out the Rare Beauty contour. Can't forget my bottom lip like always. Alright, so I'm going to go in with one of the Makeup by Mario Mini Soft Pop Blush Stick in the shade Pale Petal. I'm hoping, ironically enough, none of my blushes and none of my lips match product-wise. So, okay, there we go. Can't twist it back down. This is exactly why I got rid of my original Sculpt Stick. But, ooh, that's pinker than I remember it being. I'm gonna go a little ham. I need something to make up for this. Ironically enough, using it pushed it back down. Whatever, whatever. I'm gonna blend. I'm pretty sure I had this exact color too, but it's looking a lot better than I remember it being. Okay, it doesn't look awful. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't look awful. I was stressing for a second because the only highlighter I thought I had was this one from Kiss and Smink in the shade Maldives. And it is the most frosty, like opaque white I've ever seen in my life. And I don't like white highlighters at all. And nothing against this one. I like the formula. It's nice. It's creamy. It's just, I don't like white highlighters. Thankfully, I remember that I have this Kaja Play Bento trio in the shade Butter Up. And if I can open it, there's a highlighter in here. Bless. So I'm gonna use the highlighter shade of the Kaja Play Bento. Haven't used this. Like, I've had this for like a year or two and I haven't used this. So I'm hoping. Well, it looks like a highlighter. It's showing up on me. I don't have a weird cast. Like, it's not my favorite highlighter formula, but doing what she needs to be done. It's at least giving me something. With an extremely light hand, I'm gonna go in with the Easy Bake powder from Huda Beauty. This is before the rebrand, obviously. This is also one of the fragranced ones, which I don't like, but I'm never gonna turn. This was one of the ones on Skeepers where you only have to post a review, like on Sephora. So your order automatically gets approved. So this is the shade Cupcake. It's funny because I actually like how it smells, but I don't like fragrances on my face, you know? But I'm gonna take a little onto the cap, like a little. And I'm gonna get that all around. Tap off any and all extra. Again, I just want to kind of dull the shine on my cheek because I forgot how emollient the Makeup by Mario blushes were, which is why I decluttered mine however long ago. I'm also going to post just too little everywhere because then it will look weird otherwise. And I'm going to try to do like a little gradient lip. So I'm still going to take some of the Makeup by Mario blush on a brush and just kind of lightly stamp around my lip line. Lightly. I'm trying something here, it may not work. We're just gonna call it that. I have this Butter Balm Crayon from CLIO in the shade Modern Art Beige. Kinda here and here. Kinda. And I have a little lip gloss palette from Florette. So I'm gonna see if I can hopefully fix some of this. I'm gonna take a little bit of this shade and a little bit of, just to kind of try to give it a little definition. I hate this. This looks stupid, but whatever. I'm gonna go fix my hair and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, I'm back and this is the finished look. I am gonna admit I cheated a little. I did use like a beige-ish lip liner to kind of help reinforce my lip lines because I couldn't. It just was not working. But this is the finished look. It's not my favorite look ever. It's not the worst makeup I've ever done in my life. But surprisingly, even though I've never used any of these products together, it doesn't look horrible. Like my base looks. The base, not gonna lie, she's fantastic. Beautiful. 10 out of 10. The lips, awful. But that's on me. But again, I like having a matching blush and a matching lip. But none of my blushes matched with my lipsticks and vice versa. So, I did what I could. I did my best. And, you know, the eyes, I like trying to do more colorful. But, quite literally had no other options. But, yeah, this is the finished look. Like I said, could have gone worse.